And I think this is going to play true possibly with the Bears here because there's a conversation later in this article about the Chicago Bears going out there and possibly trading back into the first round for a defensive piece. If they were to take Ashton Jeanty. Now, this was the conversation on taking Ashton Jeanty at 10, not trading up. I wanted to have that conversation to see kind of if we're talking love. I love a player.
I'm gonna trade up.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna trade into the first round.
Hey, you wanna know who Mike Ditka loved?
Everybody.
Nah.
Mike Ditka loved Ricky Williams. You know how much he loved him?
So much
he traded his soul for him. That's love of a player, right?
That's not smart.
That's not smart. That's love. I never said love was smart.
That's smart. Yeah,
Who said love is smart?
Yeah,
Love is
you're
quite
right.
dumb. Love is quite dumb.
Am I?
Love is dumb.
Hey, you do some dumb stuff for love.
Love is blind.
Hey, I was going Michael from Good Times. When you're young and in love. Nobody knew. Never mind. We're not going to have that conversation on the podcast. I must say, each time the world stops, just like the sky. True love like the 4th of July. I was like, all right, now, Michael, hold on now. You never knew?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, bet. So let's get into
You was kind of by yourself, but I was trying.
Nobody knew?
Knew what?
No, don't worry about it. No, so
lost now.
the conversation on conversation that also was brought up by Matt Miller here was if the Chicago Bears were to take Ashton Jeanty at 10, that there would be a possibility for them to trade back into the first round with the fact that they do have 2 second-round picks here. Whatever the formula is, there's a possibility for you to get back into the first, trade 39 in a future first. Maybe you get back into the first here. Trade 41 in a future first. Maybe you get back into the first here. Either way. But the conversation was around the pass rusher. And could that be a defensive tackle? Could it be an edge rusher? But also that the team views defensive tackle as the more pressing need. That is after an offseason of signing Grady Jarrett. That is having Andrew Billings. That is having Javon Dexter. No matter how we feel about the player, a third-round pick in Zach Pickens is on this team. You brought in Dayo Odangbo, who can play outside and inside. The Bears feel like the more pressing need right now is taking the defensive tackle in the middle of this whole thing. Mm-hmm. If you are the Chicago Bears right now, do you feel like defensive tackle is more important? Do you feel like you need to trade back into the first round to go and get one of those top guys who is there? I mentioned Derek Harmon as one of those top guys. Joe, what's your thoughts?
I mean, it goes back to the same principle. What's the board? How do they dictate that? I mean, if they want to get what they need, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. If that means that it's a possibility that who's the defensive tackle from Michigan?
Kenneth Grant is down there. Yeah.
No. In the first
Mason Grant.
Mason Grant. So like, if I guess it depends on the scheme of what they want. I don't know. If you're trying to get a true impact player, why not get him at 10, and then you could just basically get a running back in the second round. But if you feel that Jeanty's that guy, if that's what they want to do, because they figure they're trying to win now. To me, all these moves say we're trying to compete now. We want impact players to play now. And now, if you can, you don't want to sacrifice your later picks because that's where you still got to draft your future linemen. We still got to draft the future for our left guard.
Yep.
Now, unless Amagaji is going to be the future left guard. We don't.
Amagaji might be the future left tackle.
Well,
He's going to get the opportunity in training camp right there.
He's
don't
going to be
know.
a future cut. That's what's going to happen.
No, he's not.
damn.
They said this is the third round
No
pick.
faith.
We don't because we don't know how much
I
this
just
coaching
can't
staff.
stand it, bro. I'm sorry.
I
got a personal gripe. I got a personal gripe.
Knocked your chick down?
Nah, not at all. Stop it.
What happened with you and Karan?
Hey, you had that with Kobe White for a little while.
No, Kobe White was trash. That's all. Yeah, he was. He was trash. What the heck?
Did you enroll in Yale or something?
That's what I'm talking about. No, he was talking that big trash, and he was like,
That's why you sat up.
"What?
I didn't know what was going on with Shaq's suit up
Like,
here.
what's happening right now, dog? What's going on?"
Shaq lost it.
Quarterback would get touched behind me. Man, they ain't play nobody. He looked like a turnstile out there. Anyways,
Yeah, but
He did.
we don't know the effect of this entire coaching staff. If there's going to be some things that really benefit all of. I mean, Braxton Jones could be better. We don't know. It could happen though. So the idea is that I would like them to still draft some guys in the later rounds to start to build up that rotation. So as long as we're doing that and not sacrificing it, But I'm gonna trust because this is a whole new coaching staff.
Whole
we
new
don't know what they're
coaching
gonna
staff.
do.
Don't know
we
what they're
don't
gonna
know
do.
how they're gonna really how it's gonna play out. The players we have might play even better as it is, and then we just need to draft accordingly to help create depth.
Kid, what are your thoughts?
You know what? I seeing that we're coming off of another scenario where we're going to trade up for a running back, which I don't agree
Now,
with.
how he played this is not trade up. That was a scenario I was bringing up. If they loved Ashton Jeanty, his
Facts.
scenario is take Jeanty at 10, you
Gotcha.
trade back into the first, you get the defensive end or tackle, but probably tackle.
How large is the gap between Mason Graham and the gentleman?
A long way.
It's a long way?
A long way.
Then I would actually propose this. I would disagree with what his assessment is, and I would flip it. I would say, hey, don't draft that running back at 10 and then try to trade back into the first round. Trade up in the first round to get get Mason Graham, and then you get your running back with what you have left in the second or third, fourth round or whatever that situation is. It just doesn't make sense if that's such a high need, and we've done so much. Like, this is the first time I can say we've done so much on the offensive end. Is it completely fixed? No. Is it greatly improved? Yes. So now it's like, make the swing for defense. Give Dennis Allen what he needs on that particular end, and so that you can kind of round out the team that way, and then fill in the rest of the gaps. That's just what my approach
Well,
would be.
JC, I think we talked about this, right? Where where the Bears are right now, and we did a little super sleuthing on the 1920 football drive video. It seemed like who they said number one on their board was possibly Mason Graham. Where do we have this guy at? He was doing the interview. It was either Mason Graham or Stacey Dales, one or the other. And I'll tell you right this: I met Stacey Dales in person. She'll take you out.
She got some pads on her.
You put some pads on Stacey Dales, she
some
will
paws.
drop you down. But
It's a linebacker?
no, she played in the W.
I know, I'm just messing.
Played in the W. So she not small.
No, she ain't. She not at all.
But no, like the conversation around trading up for Mason Graham, is that a bigger conversation than waiting to go get somebody in the second round possibly? I've said Kenneth Grant is there. I've said Derek Harmon is there. I mean, we've talked about a Wyatt Milliam who also could be a name that's on that list. Do you feel like you need to go get the top name if you're going to trade up for anybody?
I mean, if you're convinced, yes. We talked about if they really believe that they want to win now and they believe that they can win big, then nothing should hold them back from actually putting in the moves that will convince us that they're doing so. If you're going to trade back into the first round and maybe into the later picks, you get your 10, you get your Ashton Jeanty in your scenario, and then you go for, I did see an article where it said maybe a Shamar Stewart, a Kenneth Grant, or either Walter Nolan might be there. A lot of people are saying that for whatever reason that Walter Nolan is similar to Mason Graham in certain traits, and that he is very under.
I like Walter Nolan.
So he the Chrysler 300?
Yeah,
until a real phantom pulls up.
Yeah. But
No, dog. No.
Crush 300, great car. Great car.
It looks real good.
Looks real good.
But I mean, if
see a
you-
real
if you
phantom pull up.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, he still can hold his own. And so, if you were to say you get that guy, or if you address left tackle, you get a Gray Zabel maybe that late if he's still on the board in the 20s. I'm fine with that. You address two things. You've addressed more depth on the trenches. You've addressed running back. I could do that because again, it's all about whether or not this team believes in winning now. And as Joe even said, if that's the thought process, if that's the philosophy going in, then use all your picks to do what you got to do to get the best talent available.
Ringo, you trading back in?
I think that I'm with JC. If you want to use the pick to get the best talent available, and you believe, and Mason Graham is at the top of the board, I mean, then go crazy. Listen, and then if not, I've also seen where, cause I just looked at it. Grady Jarrett's only 31. Only 31. If they don't,
He's 32 by the time season starts.
32 by the time the season starts. The biggest thing that I keep thinking back on is that Ben Johnson keeps saying that first the accountability is going to be on the coaches. Then we're going to try to transfer that accountability to the players.
Yeah.
If they don't do the move where they want to trade all the picks, I like Grant. Mason Graham and Grant together basically just
Dangerous world.
They get pressured. I watch them every week. I don't know.
Ringo's also a Michigan fan if you want.
Yeah, like,
There you go. That makes sense.
But at that point, you got Grady Jarrett, Grant. Now you got Sweat. the accountability is going to be on those players to excel those guys forward. He might be able to take that leap in that second year if you need him to. So I don't necessarily hate them. What's going on?
Keep going.
Keep going.
I don't necessarily hate them staying where they're at and then just waiting on Grant to come there if that's what they need to do.
But I saw an interesting comment. I think on one of the shows. Like I don't know if it was your show or what, but the thing was that they're saying that you're expecting. It's a different culture now.
Yeah.
Like we don't even know like what the Bears have done this offseason has been so anti-Bears in general. So we don't even know what the mentality is for like we want to win now. Let's go get the best players we can versus just the status quo. So it might be that there's more incentive of like, look, we can get an impact player if that's what we got to do to move up because we don't know what the impact of the draft was from McCaskey or not. It's a different mentality. So I'm all for getting the best players in the room because what's the point of being status quo and just being average? If you're trying to actually win a division, you got to get impact players. This division is very hard. It's not just going to be an easy division for you to win. So you need guys.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the assessment that Brian Poles has to make too, right? Like, what is this division going to be next year? Are the Lions the same with tougher schedule, no coaches that were there last year? You have a new offensive coordinator, you have a new defensive coordinator, you have a new offensive line coach, you have a new special teams. Like, there's a ton of turnover there, right? Are they going to be the same organization? Minnesota, brand new quarterback. Rookie quarterback.
A lot of new offensive line pieces.
Lot of new offensive line pieces.
Good offense. Good
Now, good pieces. Hey, look, you take that line?
I'll take that line.
Dang good line. Yeah, I mean, a lot of new offensive line
the
pieces.
coaching staff's in place. Like, everything is so new with Chicago at this exact moment.
And, I mean, Green Bay just sucks, so,
It's always.
Hey, Drew, what are your thoughts? What, do you feel like the Bears should be looking to trade back in the first round if they take Genty at 10?
I do not. I don't want to do any trading unless we're going to get the impact blue chip players. Yeah. So don't trade unless we're going up to 2 or 3 to get Abdul Carter. I don't want to trade back in for a guy that could be had in the second round because the talent level is so deep with regards to the defense and the edge rusher and the middle that the talent level is very minimal drop off between trading back into the lower first round compared to what we can get in the higher parts of the second round.
We're calling first rounders projects?
Some can. It depends.
No,
Shamar Stewart's a project.
That guy, I don't want no piece of.
I want no part of
it. That's the point.
But
he's going to be visiting the Bears, brother.
But he's projected to go at the end of the first round.
We don't want potential. We want production.
He's potentially slotted to go at the end of the first round.
That kid is a second round.
I would say he's going to be in the first round. I would say this.
That's how weak the draft is.
No, it's not weak.
No,
it's just
some teams really overanalyze.
I'm saying there's more solid players.
Here's the thing. If I'm picking 30, I can take a chance.
Oh, yeah.
If your highs are the highest of highs, but your lows suck, I can take a chance that I'm going to eliminate your lows and only get the highs.
You feel the need when you got an opportunity.
100%. Now, you can't do that too many years in a row. Sack's suit looked like carpet at a casino.
It does look like a Vegas carpet.
Hey, the fact that it stopped Kid in his tracks. I saw a kid just go, what is happening right now? And it's, but no, like I think that the conversation on trading back in, realistically, if you're the Bears right now, you have to try and acquire as much talent as possible. Is the gap between Derek Harmon, who I think is a phenomenal piece and who I would say is probably the guy at the end of the draft, and Kenneth Grant that far? Now, that's what your evaluation has to do. Is the gap between Kenneth Grant and Wyatt Milliam, or Kenneth Grant and who's the other defensive tackle? Walter Nolan, that far, right? Like, in the second round, you're going to have to do some development. That's why he's probably not a first-round piece. But you also still, like, I don't think that gap is as massive. Now, Derek Harmon maybe is the biggest gap there, but even that, it's not a chasm. Like, I can develop pieces here, and that's why I think this draft is so important. It's why I've said I'm willing to give up future capital to not give up capital in this draft. Well, I mean, I'm willing to move on from pieces that you could possibly get next year to not give up pieces in this draft because I think that, like, I look at the Patriots. How many picks the Patriots have?
They got
The Patriots, if they draft right in 2 years, can be back.
Yep.
And I don't mean back like a competitive team.
No, like,
The Patriots in 2 years can be competing for championships
I agree.
if they draft right in this draft.
Drake May's
Yeah,
nice.
but that's-
You've got Drake May at the quarterback position. There's a bunch of linemen in this draft that you can go out there and get.
Yeah.
You can find the ancillary pieces once you get the trenches solidified. Drake May was standing behind us 6.
You don't have to build Rome in a day.
Yeah, I mean it's hopefully they can do that. It's happened in the past where teams have gotten all kind of draft picks and have not capitalized on them. It doesn't.
Well, if you
necessarily-
miss, that's different. Yeah.
But it's actually a lot of teams have kind of missed in a sense, and some teams have done well. So it depends on how good of a GM you have with your team, and if they sit what if they're sitting
Now,
there.
I had a corny joke that based off of what you just said that was just.
Well,
eating
I'll put
me
it
alive.
out there
Go
now.
ahead, what?
You know, you said you don't build Rome in a day. I was gonna say you don't build Rome in a doomsday.
Oh my God!
I said I wasn't gonna say it.
Ringo didn't even give you a full arm throw. He just like, man, you don't deserve it.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Hey, the moment he
Roman
started to
told me,
say
man.
you don't build Roman, I knew he was gonna say O'Doom's ever say.
In a doomsday.
You know, put it back on Jordan.
Hey,
That's
but
a
what I
credit.
will
Give
say
it-
is
put
that
it back on
somebody-
Jordan real quick,
Hey,
man. Yeah,
No, don't give him the credit.
that was
Nah.
horrible.
What I
dude.
will say is that somebody who has interviewed Roma Dunes.
Oh!
That's how I pivoted it.
It just came across my feed. It just came across my feed.
Shout out
Just
to
did, just did 10,000 views on that joint. It was a good video. It was a good video.
While I wouldn't say that Rome was built in a
Yeah.
day,
Yeah,
what
leave
I
it
will
naked
say is all roads do lead to Rome. Shout out to Rome Odunze, man.
right, you got
Phenomenal player, dominant player. He's going to be amazing this season. He's going to make us all forget about Jared Verse.
I asked him, did Rome give him? Because Rome to me looks like Chase Claypool a little bit physically.
Uh-oh.
No, physically.
Yeah, physically he is.
Physically.
Physically he is.
I asked
He
him-
does not look that big.
Hey.
He doesn't look
I
that
thought he looked more like a
Rome
Fitzgerald.
Rome is 6'4" and
I
stocky.
thought he
looking.
gave me
He's
a
6'3",
Fitzgerald.
6'4".
I thought he gave me a Fitzgerald vibe.
Nah,
I'll take that.
Fitzgerald was smaller. than him.
like because Chase was jacked. He was like
Right.
240 pounds.
Yeah, but
wasn't he?
Rome is like his second year in the league.
Rome
See, yeah,
216.
see, he's skinny. He doesn't.
Why he gives me a Larry Fitzgerald vibe? It's like
Yeah.
physically wise.
Yeah, he's not a. Yeah,
Not like
Chase
Chase
not,
Claypool
not,
230.
not,
Yeah, it's a
not
big
blazing
dude. That's a
speed, but
linebacker.
solid speed and
No,
good hands.
Probably why he sucked.
What was rookie Chase Claypool?
230.
about that size.
Nah,
he
he
was
was
big.
No,
Yeah,
he was huge coming out of
He was
college.
jacked.
No, he's huge
huge,
coming
no
out of
doubt.
college.
He was.
He was physically blessed.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, well, it was a little borderline. Yeah, I'll do it. All right. Yep.
Let's get that out.
Physically blessed. Yeah, go ahead, Ringo.
Oh, Ringo.
No, don't do that. Hey!
You son of a... That was nuts.
you want to move on to this last topic?
Hey, man, let us know how you guys feel in the